This is Grabner's latest instrument and their latest platform that they're using, the Vision platform. Highly accepted in the industry and with the EPA. This is the most accurate instrument that they've produced. Again, we'll go over some of the background before we run the actual test. If you hit the status bar up there, you will just see your current temperature and the pressure. That's the ambient temperature with the ambient pressure with the valves open. You can get your serial number, your software number, things like that, so if you do have to call service, you can get in and give them an idea what software version you're working with. How many measurements have been run since it was last serviced, the date of the last service, and just some accepting. Okay, so on your test screen, your menu bar is this button over here. You're going to press the menu bar. The nice thing with this is it's large 10-inch touchscreen. Makes it very much user-friendly, a lot easier to use. Well, the first thing, again, we'll go with the sub-menus. We'll go into the results overview. All your results will be shown here. Again, you can change last one, first one run. It will by default store the last sample run on top. Press that button, and again your results screen will show up with a graph of your pressure readings. If you press the show all parameters button, again you'll see all the data with the correlative data for all the correlative formulas, correct method that you've used, sample ID. Everything will go through there, and at the bottom you can save it directly to the USB, which is on the back, and print it to a connected printer, or delete that out of the memory if you'd like. Press the back button. Again, go back into the menu. Our maintenance feature. We have our rinsing cycles, which again is by default standardized and set at 3 rinses. Again, rinsing 3 cycles with the new sample coming in to get rid of the old residue. You can rinse now, again, just a straight rinse. This is good if, again, dirty sample with water in it. You want to run some acetone to get that water out of there so you don't affect your next batch of samples. The Bake Out Now feature is new to the VP Vision. This really is more for our customers that are using crude oil or heavier oil samples. If it gets dirty in the measuring cell, it will max it out to the max temperature, basically like a self-cleaning oven that you have at home. Rinse it out, ash out all the residue in there, and then it would rinse out the measuring cell so you got a nice clean cell. That's something that's always nice to do every once in a while, especially if you're running crudes or those heavier samples through this. If you connect this up to the instrument, which is entirely possible now with the Ethernet cables and the connections in the back, you will see your IP address show up once it recognizes it, and you can connect directly to Grabner instruments for any kind of diagnostics. So it's a lot easier. They call it their call home feature, and so the Grabner can get right in there and take a look at it and see what might be wrong with the instrument if you're experiencing some problems. And on the bottom, the latest version of the software is very nice, has added the service test menu. I won't get into this too much now because Vic will be doing this later on in his service presentation, but as you can see, very nice and easy. You can toggle the valves open and closed if you like. Again, more on the service end. One of our service guys, if you have to get in touch with them, might ask you to go through some of these things to rule out some issues. So if we go again back to the main menu, done our maintenance. Settings. Again, date and time, easy enough. Set up for your time zone, your time format, date format, all pre-programmed. Okay. And you can select the printer too, so you can do that too. All right, that's fine. Okay. We have a logout feature. If you have this set up, you can set this up as administrators and users in this feature. In that situation, you would have the individual users log in and out. They have their own password. An administrator would have the master password. Then you would log out that user. The next person that would come in to run a test would enter in their password and then get in and be able to do that. And we have the straight shutdown button. Okay. But after all that, we're just going to go back, utilize the measurement. Very large start button there. That's all we need to press. You see your template. In this situation here, these are called templates as far as the test measurements go. So we press here, and we're going to see all our options. You can store up to 20 of these measurement templates. 5191, these are all programmed, but you can set these all up customized also. So if we're going to run 5191, you select the 5191. You could enter in your sample ID with the touchscreen. And that's it. Select 5191, it will pre-populate with all the correct test parameters for the method that you selected. Scroll down. We have measuring at 68, measuring at 100. If you want to set up a template with your own ASTM method, you would save as, and it would allow you to save that template, and then you just have to select here and you would see it show up, and it's just a one button operation. So once we have our measurement, hit the start button and we see a nice schematic with this nice touchscreen. So it's a lot more user friendly with this new generation. Again, keeps you all the way in the steps that it's going. Have your sample ID, the method you're running. Nice little schematic, your valves opening and closing. And again, you'll be able to see where you are in the system. So rinsing, it will go through rinse. Then you'll be in equilibrium and test 1, 2, and 3. In order to abort the test, if you ever need it to any point, just press that X. Do you really want to abort the measurement? Yes. And it will just default it, measurement canceled, back to the main screen. Now you see here where it shows up last use settings. Again, this is very similar to the default feature on the VP Expert, in that if you're going to run the same samples, which most of our customers do, if you're ready to run 5191 again, you would just enter a new sample ID and start measurement, and you're good to go.